If you want to get new recruiting clients, one of the best ways is to be more focused in your niche. But most recruiters make the same mistake. Because they've placed a wide variety of positions across different industries, they try to take on too many roles. And it's like the old saying goes, chase two rabbits, catch none. So in this video, I'll show you why picking a focused niche actually gives you more access to roles, not less, and how to pick the best niche for your new recruiting business. I think that what stops most people from picking the niche is that they feel like they're going to be pigeonholed in this one small subsection, especially because they've done so many types of recruiting, so many roles, they have a really broad skill set. They fear that by being specialized, then hiring managers aren't going to ask them to help with these roles or help with these roles if they could. But in fact, it actually dilutes your outreach. Imagine if you were a VP level hiring manager and you got a message from a random recruiter on LinkedIn you never reached out to. And actually two recruiters, let's say. The first recruiter says, hey, I see that you're hiring, would love to meet with you, talk about your hiring needs. Looks like you are hiring in legal, in sales, and IT, and I have experience in all those positions. Would love to see how we can help, right? That's one recruiter. Then immediately you read a second message from another recruiter saying, hey, I understand that you're looking for DevOps engineers with AWS on your engineering team, especially those with Kubernetes and Python development experience. I actually have someone that has that exact background who also comes from the cybersecurity industry like you. They're very familiar with your team. And anyways, let me know if I can share more information. We'll be happy to send you their profile. Like, which of those two recruiting messages would resonate more? Obviously, the second one. It's so specific. It's so targeted, and you're also offering a candidate, so you're offering value there. So we want to be more like recruiter number two, who's hyper focused on their niche. That hiring manager, what are they going to do next? They're probably going to click on your name and be like, who's this person on LinkedIn? Who's this guy, John? They click on me and they'll take a 3-second glance like we all do on my LinkedIn profile. Now my LinkedIn profile needs to also resonate with my niche, right? So I can't say, hey, I specialize in the specific IT or engineering roles in my message, but then on my website or my profile and my website, if it says I also do legal, healthcare recruiting, they're like, wait, this is confusing now. So those should all be aligned. But when your message, your LinkedIn profile, your LinkedIn company page, and your website are all aligned with the same message about your niche, then something magical happens. Then your response rate goes up. You start getting more responses from hiring managers saying, oh, tell me more, or, we actually filled that DevOps engineer role, but we need a network engineer position. Can you help with that? People ask me this a lot. Hey, John, what's the best niche right now where I can make a lot of money and pays high fees? These are high salary candidates and there's not that much competition. So you can probably know where I'm going here. There is no such magical niche. I wish I could say, hey, these are 5 niches that are underserved, pay premium fees, there's very little competition. Just pick from one of these 5 and you'll be set. You'll be like easy mode. That's not the case. So to get started with picking your niche, you want to think about a few things. You want to think about, one, what's your main experience you have in your industry? Even if you worked across different industries, pick one where you have the most experience, the most confidence, you've done the most work. The main thing is when you meet with a potential client, you sit down with that hiring manager, even if it's across the camera like this on Zoom, they're going to want to see in a very short amount of time, does this recruiter even understand my role? Hiring managers have a very fine-tuned BS radar, and they're going to be able to pick up like, I don't think this person really gets it. And it's going to be an automatic no. Think about what industries, what sector of work do you really feel the most confident, where if you were to talk to a VP level hiring manager in that industry, you're going to understand what they're talking about. The second thing is, if you already have recruiting experience, not necessary to start a recruiting business, but if you have recruiting experience, just think about the roles that you've done the best in, right? Which positions have you placed the most? Where have you had the most success? That's going to be a great indicator. Also, this is kind of funny, but like you want to think about what type of candidates do you like to talk to? Like what do you actually enjoy doing? Because of course, like if you enjoy doing something, you enjoy talking to a certain category of types of candidates, you're going to do better because you enjoy it and they're going to pick up on that. Now, at that point, you want to take a quick peek at market demand. Back during COVID, it doesn't matter if you're great at placing flight attendants. If the airline industry is kind of going down, no one's traveling, probably best to pivot your niche. Once you have an idea of the market demand, okay, like this is my niche idea. I'm doing some research. I see a lot of people are hiring for that niche. Then the last thing you want to take a peek at is the supply of available candidates. Let's say you want to focus on AI for your niche, and you have AI experience working with machine learning and language models and that type of thing. And obviously you see that people are hiring for AI roles, but then you check for the available candidates and you find out that the people that they truly are looking for are like a diamond in the rough. They're like a needle in the haystack. And there's a reason why like Mark Zuckerberg are offering like millions of dollars as a sign-on bonus. And like it was something crazy. I think I read like $100 million package to hire these really, really super rare AI engineers. It's crazy out there at the time of this recording. And so if that's the case, hey, it doesn't matter how great you are at AI, understanding how passionate you are about AI, and how much people are hiring AI engineers. If the candidates that they're looking for, there's like 3 in the world that can do the job, you're not going to make any of those placements. Look, the time that you spend thinking about this, planning your niche before you launch is going to save you so much headache. Again, I made this mistake. When I launched, I ended up kind of niche hopping for a while. I did this for a couple months, this a couple months. I kept hopping different niches, and I realized I was just running a circle, going nowhere, spinning my wheels. Instead, this is exactly why this is like step number 1 in our process, is to pick a hyper-focused niche first. That's well thought out. Make sure that niche shows up in all your branding. But once you have your niche picked, the branding in place, now you're ready to go out to market. At that point, you're gonna be light years ahead of people that rush this process, that go out there, try to launch, try to kind of be everything for everyone, and then they get nowhere fast. So those are the things you want to consider for your niche. Now, all right, now that you have a better idea of the direction you might want to start with your recruiting business, the next step is to start getting ready to reach out to new potential clients. But before you do, it's really important to understand and be aware of the most common mistakes that new recruiters make when they first branch out on their own. So check out this next video where I'll walk you through the 5 most common mistakes that new recruiting business owners make so that you can avoid them and have a clear path to success.